Hello guys, how's it going? Thank God it's Friday. Oh my God, another week down. It's been a pretty interesting week, but one that's been also very fruitful for me in that um, it sort of emphasized the need for self-care, and I go on this quite a bit, um, but I'm going into a bit more detail. I put a link in the description and stuff below to Psychology Today about 7 types of self care that you could possibly do. Um, and even though people do a little bit of this for, like, maybe for a few seconds, maybe you need to do it a bit longer and more often, or try not to make it rushed and squeeze it in between everything else. And that's the thing. Sometimes some things we think are self care, but are things that are not. It's hard to describe. I mean, with things going on today, so much going on with over a year since first lockdowns sort of happened. A lot of people are like pretty much doom and gloom and whatnot. But some people have kind of renewed their self care, which is awesome. If you are working from home, it can be difficult to do because you're not getting into a new environment, or you need to be more stringent in your enforcement of the barriers with various things like your social, your pleasure, your work, your after work, your social, and all that sort of stuff. So I put a brief thing on the 7 types of self care that I got off Psychology Today, and it has lots of examples in there. And what also occurred to me is that a lot of the self-care stuff can also be brought into like a really good play session where you go no phones, no outside interruptions. This is a session of play care which could incorporate a lot of things, um, to just be in the moment and detach from all the thinking that you would otherwise have done. um, when your mind's going over and over again about many different things you could be doing, should be doing, would be doing, and all that sort of stuff. I mean, to this end, I've like looked at. I've got an old Xbox that I got for free, so I'm looking at some old games that I can just like get on there and just play. Because part of it is getting away from my desk because I do work from home. So there's a lot of stuff that I do at my desk before and after work, which I think I need to get away from my desk for. But there's a lot of other things that I used to do, but I don't anymore, which I am going to take up. Like, um, when I first started in kink, I journaled a lot, just things not to do with just kink, but everyday things, my work, my headspace, dramas that are happening in my life, and I used that to get things out of my head and try and calm it down a little bit. So that's always a good thing. Um, so I'll try and get onto that. But that's the thing. Find something that really will calm you down. It might not be a whole lot of things. It might be a few things, such as um, going to the beach, um, just being around people, being social. Because depending on whether introvert or extrovert, different things will give you self care. So think about what it is you like to do, with regards to self care that recharge and refresh you or relax you. Think of some of the barriers that can happen, that can either stop you from doing it or make the self care not as effective. And think of, are you doing it as often as you need to do it? Not as often as you want to do it, but as often as you need to do it. And the thing is, if you have to self care on a need basis, which is often regarding a situation which is the same all the time, think about, can you change that situation? Like, is it a continual thing at work? Is it a continual social thing, or another situation or something that's impacting you? Is there anything you can do about it? If not, think about what other, what if you really should be investing so much time and energy into that, or whether you go, okay, that's just the way it is. These are the possible solutions which can be enacted, and I can or can't enact them myself, or other people have to enact them. And if other people have to enact them, there's not a lot you can do other than sort of change the way you think and go, okay, well, I've put forward a solution for this thing, but I can't enact it, and that's pretty much it. I either accept it the way it is, or do something else. A lot of times I've like went, there's lots of stuff that I will try and help with, but then eventually I'm like, you know what, I just can't. And some people say I dropped the ball on it, but it is also a form of self-care in that I don't want to keep doing that anymore. And if people are making it more difficult to help them, then you've got to say, look, you're making it difficult to help you. Either that, or you just go, and I have done this a few times with people and partners as well, to say, look, we've discussed this many times, I've offered my suggestions, can we move on to another topic? Because obviously it's agitating you, it's agitating me, and that's not what we're here to do, unless it's specifically to discuss something to do with that, which is new, not the same old thing over and over again. Anyway, think about self-care this weekend, what you'll do, what you would like to do, anything that's stopping you that is really actually stopping what you need to do. Not something that you can ignore, but stuff that really is, like, it could be yourself that's stopping you. I know many times there's some stuff that could be classed as self-care for other people, but for me it's something that has to be done anyway, so is it really self-care? But it's not. So some things, self-care has to be done, but some things have to be done, like physically, and in mastery, in that I'll challenge myself to do things, but I know they have to be done for other projects to be done anyway, so it's not really self-care. So try and find something that you will do today or this weekend for self-care. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good Friday.